Hello Brigadiers and Brigadettes, this is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel, now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello everybody, we are going to be previewing the series of the Colorado Avalanche versus the Vegas Golden Knights, and also my prediction of what will happen in the series, who will win and how many games. So before we start, if you are new, please make sure to subscribe, and if anybody likes this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up at any point, and we'll just dive on in. So, the Avalanche got here by having a dominant year where they ended up finishing out the season super hot. They won the President's Trophy for the third time in their franchise history, and they ended up demolishing the St. Louis Blues, sweeping them in 4 games after St. Louis Blues captain Ryan O'Reilly said that the Blues would beat the Avalanche. We can see that's not true. And then for the Golden Knights, they had an amazing season as well. They didn't win the President's Trophy, actually finished tied with the Avalanche with points, but due to the regulation win, I believe, rule, the Avalanche won the President's Trophy because of that. And they just got done winning their first round matchup against the Wild last night, where it took them 7 games to beat the Wild. And I'm not going to lie, this series probably will decide who could win the Stanley Cup, if not who at least one of the teams will be in it. So this has got 2 out of the 3, I'd say, favorites to win the Cup in this matchup, so we'll see how this goes. I'm really excited for it, and this is where it gets difficult because you've got 2 great teams and it's hard to pick. But let's talk about some storylines here. The first will be, how will the Golden Knights try to contain Nathan MacKinnon? Now, it's no surprise that Nathan MacKinnon is going to be a big name here, as we have to focus on him, and it's really hard to contain him as well because he's a very good defensive player and he can turn defense into offense really quick. So that's what you're going to have to keep an eye out for. And actually, last playoffs, he had 25 points in 15 games. That is insane. He's one of the most dominant players in the league right now. I think he is starting to get some credit he deserves, but it's just going to keep happening because he's such a great player. Now, it is a team effort, but I think from the blue line, there's going to be 2 players you might see try to contain him. At least from my standpoint, they could try to do this. I can't even talk. Zach Whitecloud, there we go, is one of Vegas's best defensive players this year. And, he doesn't allow a lot of scoring chances. Maybe they could, pair it up to where he's on there. And I know that people always go on about sides and stuff like that. But either way, the game is very transitional. So we'll see how that goes there. Now, Alex Pietrangelo, which he has kind of had a rough year, especially defensively, but he has been able to limit high danger chances, and that's been one thing he's been able to do pretty well for Vegas. And in 67 minutes against MacKinnon at 5-on-5 play, the Golden Knights actually outscored the Avalanche 4-3, so maybe you go with that route a little bit and see how that goes. Do I expect MacKinnon to still put up points? Absolutely yes, but if you throw out the right combination for Vegas, they're one of the better teams, I think, that could try to limit what he could do, and we'll see what goes from there. Now, another very intriguing storyline, this is from Vegas' standpoint, is how much will Max Pacioretty provide in his return. He didn't play. He had a 12-game injury absence due to non-disclosed injury. He came back for the game last night in Game 7 and scored a goal in that game. And normally a player that's 32 wouldn't have such a massive impact on a team in the playoffs, but Pacioretty does, as in the 3 seasons that he's been in Vegas, he's had 3 straight 20-plus goal seasons. And this one might have been his most impressive in the sense that he scored them in 48 games. He had, I think, 24 in 48 games, which is crazy. He provides a chunk of Vegas's goals. And, the fountain of youth will eventually dry up, I'm sure, but it looks like Max has still got enough left in him to be a great player as of right now. And definitely make no mistake, Pacioretty is coming back at the perfect time for the Golden Knights. You're playing the Avalanche, the other team that, finished with 82 points, I believe it was. And could he have come back at a better time for them? No. And this is going to be huge to see what he can provide coming back in this return against a really, really good Avalanche team. Now, finally, I did this in my video earlier, but I really, really like this topic, especially for these 2 teams. What's at stake for these 2 teams? Now, Colorado hasn't won the Cup since 2001, and they haven't advanced past the second round with this core. This is huge. If they fail to do so against Vegas in this series, it's another frustrating year because they didn't go as far as they should have it. I mean, at this point, Stanley Cups Stanley Cup final, at least. That's where they should end up. And it would be another year wasted of this team-friendly Nathan MacKinnon deal. He's got 2 more years on the deal, I believe. You don't want to mess around with that. Now, for Vegas, I believe that this would be even more crushing for them. They spent a lot of money on this team. I think that they're getting a little bit up there. Some of their players are getting a little bit up there. And a second-round we're going to restart. A second-round exit would be really, really crushing for them because it's another setback, another year you get older. And even though this team is very good, windows are not as big. Championship windows, like I said, are not as big, I think, as people always think. And, you know, it'd be hard because it's like another year they didn't win a cup with this group. And if they don't win a cup with this group, it's going to be a documentary. It's going to be a 30 for 30, absolutely. So I think with all that being said, I'm going to give my prediction for this series. I didn't actually expect this to be such a quick video, but here we are. And we'll see how this goes. But so for my playoff prediction for the Colorado Avalanche versus the Vegas Golden Knights, I will be picking the Colorado Avalanche in 6 games. I want the Avalanche to win this series, and I want them to do it just because, you know, they really haven't won it in 20 years, and, you know, they had that terrible 2017 season. They've come a long way from there and look like true contenders. Now, I'm not a big fan of Vegas, I'm not going to lie. You know, I've been pretty adamant about that since I've started the channel as a Canucks fan. Not a big fan of them. But I chose Colorado for a reason. It's not just me saying, oh, I don't like Vegas. Like, I don't let that bias play into it. There's plenty of times where I'll have a team that I want to win and I'll pick the other team because I think they will win. And for me, it just seems like Vegas was a little off in the series against Minnesota. They couldn't get the power play to work. Had some chances, but they just couldn't get it to click. And I think that Colorado is very well suited to be a great PK team. And also, for some reason, I just kind of expect Fleury to maybe struggle in the series. I know that it was 4-4 for the matchup of the 8 games they played against each other, but something about it, I don't know. Call it a gut feeling. And I know they've got Leonard to come in if that happens, but I don't know. Something about it. I just feel weird. I feel like Colorado should win this series. Now, again, these are 2 great teams playing against each other. It is difficult to pick, but something about it, it's a gut pick, and I could be wrong, and I'm okay with that. Let me know what you think, who will win this series, and in how many games. Let me know down in the comments below. Again, if you are new, please make sure to subscribe if you want good, consistent hockey content. You know, I'm not the professional, but I do like hockey. I do like to talk about hockey to you guys. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Everybody stay safe, have a great day, and stay away from COVID, alright? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.